Welcome to this video about joins in Microsoft Access. Joins are a critical component of querying, so it's important we understand them. So let's jump in, and we're going to go over three types of joins: inner joins, outer joins, and cross joins. Within outer joins, there's both a left and a right outer join. Usually we just call these a left join and a right join. Now to go over these, I'm going to pull up Microsoft Excel, something we're familiar with, and two very simple tables. We have a table here that lists names and then the state ID where the person's from, and then we have the state ID with the state in it. Now the first one we want to do is an inner join. So if we inner join table 1 and table 2, what will we come up with? Well, an inner join works just like a VLOOKUP. So I'm going to copy this table, and if we wanted to add state, what it would look like if I do my VLOOKUP, I look up my state ID value in the state table, copy that down, and the inner join works just like this, except when there's something that's not in both tables like this NA, it deletes that row. So an inner join only combines data when the field they're combined on matches. So you'll notice with this inner join, Emily disappears and Wyoming doesn't show up because there's no one from Wyoming. Alright, so inner join again matches and only combines when it's in both tables. The ID matches. Alright, let's go to the next one. The outer join, and specifically we have a left and a right outer join. Alright, let's start with the left join. So if we use this table and we left join it to this second table, what a left join does is it keeps everything in the table on the left. And then it matches those things in the right that match. So here, again, we could do our VLOOKUP. And we've got the match. Now, again, with the inner join, it deleted Emily. What it does in a left join is it will just leave a null value. So this is my final output. I get 5 rows because there were 5 rows in this table, and I matched them all up. And where they don't match, I just get a null value. Again, notice Wyoming doesn't come in because I left joined this direction. A right join works the exact same way. So if I put this table on the right and right joined it to this table, I would get this same thing. So left and right are just interchangeable. It just depends on which one, where the tables are located in the statement. All right, what happens if I right join this table to this table? Well, if I do that, I'm going to copy this one down, and I'm joining on state ID. So here I would get Cindy. Indiana, I would get Brian. Now notice there's a second one that matches with Indiana. So what I would also get is a duplicate of that one with Derek included. Utah would then be Jessica. Wyoming would stay, but it would have a null value. So this is if I right join this table to this table. Again, if I had switched it so this was over here and I left joined it, I would get the same answer. Alright, so that's inner joins and outer joins. The last one is a cross join. And I've already pre-populated this one because it can take a little bit to build. So I'm going to zoom out. What a cross join does is it makes every option in table 1 and combines it with every option in table 2. So notice how Cindy's here. She's going to be listed 4 times, and she's going to be combined with all of the 4 options over here. Then Jessica is going to be combined with each of these 4. Brian is going to be combined. So you'll notice I had 5 rows here and 4. You multiply those and get 20. I'm going to have 20 rows here. Every combination of table 1 and table 2 is a cross join. All right? So again, as a review, we have inner joins, outer joins, and cross joins. Inner join only return those things that match in both tables. Left joins keep everything in the left table and add in everything in the right table that matches and leaves nulls where it doesn't. And the right does the same thing as the left, just with reversed. The cross join combines everything together, every possible option in the 2 tables. Now, how do we actually do these joins in Access? So if we open up the Access database, this is the Pure Guitar database. You can go to Database Tools and click on Relationships. This has already been populated for you. But what this tries to do, what this does is create a default relationship for all of the tables. And you'll notice the relationships are shown by these lines. If you double click on a line, it will bring up this dialog box and allow you to edit it. If you go to join type, you can then pick whether you want an inner join, which is only include rows where the join fields from both tables are equal, or you can do left and right joins, depending on if you select option 2 or 3. Again, notice you include all records from the table bank and only those records from table cash receipts where the join fields are equal. That's a left join. You're left joining table bank to cash receipts. Or you're right joining, keep everything in cash receipts and only match the stuff in bank that matches. Now, this can be useful and helpful when you want to set up defaults. However, when you actually run a query, you create query. Let's go to query in design mode. You can click and drag tables in. So I'm going to use customer and order. Now it's going to default it to whatever was in that relationship view. And I can double click on this and I can change this. If I change the join property here, for example, to a left join or a right join, it only affects it in this one query. It doesn't change the default for anywhere else. So again, I double click. I right now have an inner join. That would make a left join. That would make a right join. Then how do I get rid of joins altogether? And do a cross join. If I click on it and just click delete, now this is going to do a cross join of everything listed in customer with everything listed in order. Alright, so that shows you how to do it in Access. Let's go back and do a few practice problems. What you need to do for these practice problems is write down what's the table and then what join would be needed to answer the question. I suggest you pause after we read the question, see if you can do it, and then check your answer and the logic. So first one, what table and joins are needed to show what customer pertains to each order? Alright, to do this, I'm going to go ahead and open up my relationship view, and all of them I'm going to answer from here. So I need to know what customer pertains to each order. I like to start by picking all of my tables. So for this one, I know I'm going to need information from the customer table, and then to get order information, I'm going to need the order table. So how do I join table orders and customers so that I can show which customers pertain to orders? Well, that's this join here. I'm going to inner join them. That will show me every customer that belongs to every order. Now note, the problem didn't say something like, I want to see all customers whether they have an order or not. Or it didn't say, I want to see all orders that didn't have a customer. So in this case, the simplest solution is just table customer, inner join table orders. You have to be careful you don't read too much into problems or read stuff out of problems. And the best way to do that is just go through a lot of the practice problem and homework to see how these work. So let's go to the next one. What tables and joins are needed to show all employees and any shipments the employees may have made? All right, so here I need to see all employees. So I know I'm going to need the table employee and then the shipments they've made. Well, the shipments are over in the table ship. So now the question is, how do I join these two together? Now, key word in here is to show all employees and any shipments the employees may have made. All right, that may have made is important because we might have employees who've never made a shipment. For example, custodial staff. They might not do shipments, but they're important employees to our organization. So with this one, I need to keep everything in the employee table. To do that, I'm going to have to use an outer join. In this case, I wrote it table employee, left join, table ship. I could have written, and this is identical, table ship, right join, table employee, because the left and the right joins are interchangeable if you just switch the order of the tables. All right, moving on to the next one. What tables and joins are needed to show all customers that have made a cash payment for a specific type of inventory? Okay, so I know I'm going to need customers. So I've got my table customer. It also says for a specific type of inventory. Well, the only place I'm going to get inventory information is from the inventory table. So those are my two tables I know I need. Now, how am I going to connect those tables? Well, it says I need a cash payment. So to see cash payments, I have to have a cash receipt. So I know I need table customers and I have to join it to cash receipts. I still can't join cash receipts or customers to inventory. So I'm going to have to go through and add some more tables. Well, to get there, I go cash sheets to table ship. And now notice there's two paths from table ship to inventory. I can go through ship detail and I can go through ship orders order detail. Now, It's a little bit more complex than we want to go into for which one we're going to use. Do realize that if we have important internal controls outside of this for processing orders and different things, it wouldn't matter which one I go to. However, since this problem said, hey, we want to see a cash payment for a specific type of inventory, what we need to do is go through and say, hey, ship table, let's go to ship detail to inventory. What that's saying is we want to see which customers actually paid for what they were shipped. If what they shipped and ordered were different, it might matter which way we go, but since we want to see what they shipped, we're going to go through inventory, ship detail, table ship, cash receipt, customer. Now, how are we going to join that? Well, the problem says show all customers that have made a cash payment. So I only need to worry about customers and inventory that have actually joined together. So because of this, I can just interjoin all of these tables together. They have to be in both tables in order for there to be a customer and inventory all the way throughout. So you see this here, everything's interjoined together. All right, moving on to the next one. What tables and joins are needed to show all customers that are stored in the computer? All right, I go back and look at my tables. Information about customers are stored in this table, and I want to know all customers that are stored. I only need this one table. Therefore, I just need table customer. I don't need a join. So just be aware, and important to realize, you don't want to add extra tables. You'll see later as we go through more things that you can complicate and get wrong answers if you add tables when you don't need them. So for this one, I just need table customer, and I'm done. All right, final practice problem. What tables and joins are needed to show all possible employees that could serve as customer representatives for all possible customers? All right, I know I'm going to need customer information, and I know I'm going to need employee information. Now, if I want to show all customers and all employees, how can I join those? Well, I can't go through ship or orders or cash receipts because that's going to limit me to just those who have ordered or shipped or have helped collect cash. Instead, this is one of the few times that we're going to use a cross join. Notice the question says, I want all possible employees that could serve as a customer representative. So the final output is, I want to see all my customers and every possible employee that could be matched with that. That's a perfect example of a cross join where I put every possibility from one table with every possibility from another one. All right, so those are the different join types. Those are the different possibilities. You now have several practice problems. I highly encourage you to do the practice problems and then dig into the homework. The best thing for learning join types is just to go through a lot of practice and see how these questions are worded so that you can think through how to join queries. Best of luck to you.